Welcome to Beans and Breakdowns, a podcast dedicated to bridging the gap between specialty coffee and the heavy music community. On this episode, I'm joined by Adam Cameron from the band Fatherfigure and Hold Your Ground Fest. So grab a fresh cup of coffee and wake the fuck up! What's going on, Caffeinated crew? Today I'm with Adam from a few things. I know you originally from Cold Shoulder because I was a shoulder head, and and then Hold Your Ground. And I think when we met at Hold Your Ground, you told me about Fatherfigure. So boom, boom, boom. There's the three. How are you doing this morning? I'm
good, man. How about you?
I'm great. Little sleepy. I know you're also a little slow moving this morning.
Oh, yeah. That's why we got the coffees.
The joys of having children, right? I don't have children. I'm just putting it on you.
Oh, yeah. No, yeah. It's definitely a lot, but I wouldn't change it for the world, man. It's awesome.
It's crazy. So what are you drinking?
This morning, I got I don't know if there's video, but my dad jokes brewing mug. And we have a espresso machine that we got quite a few years ago. Actually, my wife used her air miles to get it. It's like a super expensive one. And honestly, out of all the coffees we've tried, my favorite coffee that we just consistently buy is the Kirkland espresso beans from Costco.
Wow.
And it's delicious. It's the dark roast. I know it sounds funny. It's very anticlimactic, but I love it.
Is it the espresso machine where you like push? Is it like an automatic one, or is it you have to like tamp it? And
you got to tamp it yourself and everything. It's a Breville, they call it.
Oh,
yeah.
She's
like, I have all these air miles. Should I waste them on a coffee machine? And I was like, probably not. And then she's like, okay, I think I want to. And I was like, all right, because we're both big coffee drinkers. And then she did, and then I love it. Like I'm so happy she did it. It was awesome.
I like the Breville stuff. I haven't worked on a lot of it, but there's a couple of machines that are really, really good. Like the best one I think they make is the dual boiler. So it's got the separate boiler for the steam and the separate boiler for the espresso. So you don't have to like float your temperature, so to speak. So that's really nice. But then all the Breville Barista Express and Barista Touch and all that shit is really good too.
Yeah. No, it took me a while to figure it out. But like I said, I love it. I still can't calibrate it. Like when we get different beans, I have no idea. She does all that. I'm like, I struggle.
Was she a barista or anything?
Yeah, she's worked in a couple coffee shops, one in Toronto, one in Waterloo over the years prior to having kids.
Yeah. Calibrating espresso, like dialing in, is one of the mysterious skills you have to learn. And if you've never worked in a cafe or anything like that, like I still know people that work with me that don't know how to calibrate or dial in.
Yeah, it makes sense. I didn't even know it was a thing. I just put new beads in there and I was like, why isn't this working? He's like, oh, you're supposed to adjust it here, and do this, that, and I was like, oh, oops. You
gotta time it and then weigh the amount. It's like, that's too much science.
Way too much.
Just give me turbo shots all day.
I just want a coffee. I just make an Americano black with the double shot.
Ooh.
Basic, but yeah, so I'm not overly fancy.
The Americano. Every time I have an opportunity, I ask people why they choose Americano over filter coffee. And so I'm going to ask you the same question since that's your preferred drink.
Yep.
Why, compared to like regular filtered coffee, why do you like an Americano more?
Because it's the only coffee machine we have in the house.
Very different answer from what I've gotten before.
No, I don't know. I'll have one of these in the morning when we're getting the kids out the door or whatever, or when I walk out of the house, depending how early it is. And then I'll usually throughout the day make a stop. And at that point, I'll just like even at Starbucks, I'll just get their regular filtered coffee, or McDonald's. Tim Hortons is, I call it urinal water, but I still drink it. But yeah, no, I just like, I don't know, maybe just it's a little stronger, a little more flavorful, especially drinking black.
Yeah.
Right.
Do you drink black McDonald's and Starbucks coffee?
Yeah.
You're an insane person.
Why?
That's crazy.
I only drink black coffee.
I know, but I've tried drinking like Pike's Place before, black.
Yeah.
And I think I dumped an entire 12-ounce cup of coffee in the trash. I couldn't do it.
Yeah. I try to get the dark roast if they have it.
Mm-hmm.
McDonald's, actually, I like McDonald's just regular brew. And Tim Hortons, I get the dark roast as well. Okay. A little more flavor, a little less urinal water.
Yeah, it's less diluted. When I moved here and I was like, Tim Hortons is terrible. What the hell? Why do you guys co-sign this all the time? What's wrong with you? I had this Italian, well, he's Italian from Montreal. But this Italian guy was like, you got to get the dark roast and you got to get it with like a little milk and a little sugar, but it's the dark roast. And I was like, a dark roast? And so I tried it and I was like, oh, this actually does slap a little bit more.
Yeah, it's more bearable, and yeah. But it's funny you mentioned about the Italian saying that. The wife and I went to Italy in April, and so one of my favorite things to do, like I love driving. When we used to tour, I was the one driving, but I love having a cup of coffee while driving. Mm-hmm. Like it is like, but in Italy, the Americanos, they're like tiny. All I wanted was like a full cup of coffee. We had like a 4-hour drive and I get this little Americano. I'm like, all right, well, that's it. And I was, it sounds, I don't know, I'm complaining, but I was pretty disappointed.
It's a learning curve over there because it's like, I can't be mad you invented this, but then like, it's like, why can't you appeal to my American sensibilities? If you want it to be named after American, you need to make it American.
Yeah. Extra large.
Extra large, extra hot. Come on.
Yeah, exactly.
It's interesting in a cafe, the variety of orders that you get from people who think that like they know coffee. Yeah. And my favorite are people that order extra hot cappuccinos because you're essentially asking me to just burn milk, which is
I don't know. That's too, exactly. I don't get it. Whatever. People do. Hey,
yeah.
Everybody's got a thing, right?
You know, what is it? Takes a village.
Yeah, I think so.
That's not what I'm thinking. What am I thinking? Anyway, it's the spice of life. But yeah, I judge a little bit the Americano drinkers because I'm like, the filter coffee is so good. And then they're like, let me get an Americano. But I'm an espresso hater.
Oh, you are?
Let me rephrase this before I get like shut down and canceled and like thrown to the wolves. The amount of work you have to put into making good espresso, I have to use a quarter of that amount of work to make good filter coffee.
Good filter coffee, yeah.
So, and I like the taste of filter coffee more than like, I feel like espresso, you really do need to dilute it with like water or milk or like tonic water or something to get it to taste like really great.
Yep. Yeah. I've even just regular espresso, I don't really drink. Find it's disappointing and a little, almost too much and too little, I'd say.
It's like an assault on the palate.
It was weird. I was with one of my customers, and he's very Italian. His parents were born in Italy, whatever. He's like, oh, we should go here for lunch. And I was like, okay. So we go into this tiny little Italian cafe, just like north of Toronto, in like Woodbridge area. It's a tiny little spot. And we walk in there and there's a bunch of like older Italian men all sitting down having a conversation. And he looks at me, he goes, we do not talk about work in here. And I was like, okay. And then he orders me up this little espresso. And I'm like, and because I thought we were going for breakfast, and then a tiny little pastry. And I'm like, hey man, we finished and then we left. And I was like, so are we going to go for breakfast here or what? And he's like, yeah, we just did. I'm like, all right. So I think I hit Tim Hortons on the way home.
Yeah.
Cause I was like very disappointed in that little espresso, which was okay. It was a unique little coffee shop, but
Right.
and then this tiny little pastry. I don't know. I couldn't
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah. It's like I'm a working boy. I need working boy breakfast.
Yeah. Something with substance. Yeah.
Can I get the pastry on the side of a big plate of eggs and bacon, please?
Please. That was another thing we struggled with in Italy. Actually, like just getting like a greasy bacon and egg breakfast. Very hard to find. I mean, we were in the touristy areas, don't get me wrong. So but like, yeah. But anyhow, I feel like we're trashing Italians.
Listen, I went to Italy in 2019. One of my favorite trips I've ever been on. Like
Same.
I was in the north, went to Amalfi Coast, and like touristy spots, but like digging for the gyms. You know what I mean?
Yep. Oh yeah, we did all South Italy on the Amalfi Coast. We went to Positano.
Hell yeah, that's where I. It's amazing, right?
Too many stairs and hills, but great little town, man.
Did you go to Capri?
No, we actually, after the Amalfi Coast, we went to the other side to Bari. But on the way out to Bari, we stopped in a couple smaller towns. My favorite place I've probably ever been, I would say probably top 3 places in the world I've ever been was a little town called Matera. It's in like the center of southern Italy, and it's the second or third oldest town in the world. And it was like our Airbnb was like in a cave. It was incredible. Like, it was insane. Like if
cool.
anyone, I tell everyone that's going to Italy, it's funny, after you go there, you find a lot of people get a go or are going. And I tell them, you got to stop there. That just stole the trip for me out of the Amalfi Coast, Pompeii, Rome, all those places. That was like hands down unreal, that place.
Yeah.
But no, it didn't end up going the other direction down to Capri.
It was cool. Like boats of certain sizes on certain size waves scare me, even though I grew up on the ocean essentially.
Yeah.
But I respect the ocean.
Oh yeah.
Put some respect on the ocean.
Yeah.
But the boat trip was a little nerve wracking because it's. Yeah. But like you get to this tiny island. Have you ever seen that movie, The Count of Monte Cristo?
No, I haven't. I know what it is. I haven't seen it though.
It looks like the movie was shot there. Like it's just giant cliffs with like an island, and then down in the center there's like a marina. And so drank way too much limoncello.
Yeah.
You know how it goes.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Italy is like an incredible place.
I know.
Milan as well. My God.
Yeah, I know. I almost want to go back, but I also now want to like see Portugal and Switzerland and like Spain. Like, so now I'm like Italy really like opened that. I'm like, I got to go here more. I got to go see more of this place.
Yeah.
So
got to go to Copenhagen. Huh?
Of Europe it is that I'm like, when I say this place. Yeah. Yeah, no, I've never been anywhere out there other than I did the UK when I was younger playing rugby.
Oh.
But that's different. You're with a big group. You're in, like my last one, I was 19 or 18 or 19. So I didn't really care, right? I was just with my buddies playing rugby. But now going there, seeing the history, meeting people, like it's awesome.
This is no shade, no tea to my UK friends. I'd go to Ireland. I'd go back to Ireland in a heartbeat before I'd go to UK.
Really? Good to know. That's another place on my bucket list.
Talk about bacon and eggs.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Brother. That country's built on bacon and eggs.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what I'm drinking before we get too far into bacon and eggs. I actually have something from your neck of the woods. It's closer to you than it is to me. Pilot Coffee Roasters. I think they're out of Dundas, right? Or they're they're from Toronto.
Did you call it Dundas?
I did. And do I have to give up my Canadian card?
Dundas. That's okay.
It's not
Or
Dundas. It's got an ass on it. It's Dundas.
Dundas.
Um, this is they put this out seasonally every year. It's called Ana Sora. It's an Ethiopian coffee. Um, it's just like really special. It's usually from, I think they rotate different producers every year for this specific coffee, but it's always a natural processed, and it's got strawberry jam, vanilla, and like a syrupy, almost like molasses, less like maple syrup sweet.
Is it sweet?
Yeah, but it's like if you how do I do this? It's like, when you like have pancakes and you use strawberry syrup,
Yep.
it's like that.
Okay.
Like it's got a lot of vanilla and like syrupy tasting strawberry notes.
Okay.
It's really good. I think it's good every year. Last year was, some people thought, was a little weaker.
Yeah.
This one's very good. So,
All right. Noted.
my buddy John from Ottawa, this is his favorite coffee. So shout out John. He's gonna love it when he sees it on Instagram.
Awesome. Shout out Dundas.
Dundas. I don't even know where the fuck that is. It's not, this coffee isn't even from there. I'm thinking of Detour is from Dundas.
Yeah. That's out though. That's like the west end of Mississauga towards Oakville, I believe. No, I think it's out near Burlington, actually. I don't know. Whatever.
It's somewhere on the horn there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pilot's from like downtown.
Yeah.
So yeah, cool. Gonna be good. Very excited about a specific coffee roaster in Mississauga now that we're talking about that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you've ever been there. Do you live in Mississauga?
No, I live very far north now. A year and a half ago, I moved up to a tiny little town called Drayton, Ontario.
Okay.
Which is, we're like northeast of Waterloo. So yeah, it's
Sorry,
like,
my geography of the GTA is fucking terrible.
that's okay. For the listeners, it's northeast of Waterloo. It's like, I'm like an hour and 45 minutes northwest of Toronto.
Oh, okay. So like west of Barrie-ish or farther?
No. I'm actually the other way. Do you know where Guelph is?
Yes.
So I'm almost a straight shot north of Guelph. Almost.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know where that is.
Yeah, a little more west, but it's a tiny little town. It's like Mennonite country.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, man. You want to talk about like wicked little markets, like fresh fruit, fresh produce everywhere you go. It is like, it's awesome out here. I love it out here.
I'm a big fan of, because I grew up very evangelical Christian.
Yeah.
So learning about Mennonite beliefs in their church is like very interesting to me. It's very different from how I grew up.
Yep.
And I didn't realize how many Mennonites there were in Ontario.
Oh yeah, there's lots. And they all have like different beliefs and different views. And like there's some, like you'll see some on a horse and buggy, but like talking on their cell phone on the horse and buggy. And you're like, all right. And then you'll see some that I've seen at like the local fairs and stuff. They're like pounding beers. I'm like, I didn't know you can drink. And they're like, it's everyone. They all have their different sort of views and outlooks. And I guess they don't judge. Like they're just, yeah, you do this, I do that. All good.
Yeah.
The craziest thing I've seen though, oh man, I got to share this. The craziest thing I've seen. So I grew up on a farm. So like I have a pretty good understanding of tractors and stuff. It had to have been like a brand new tractor. I would say probably like $350,000 tractor, maybe $450,000 tractor. He's going down the road. He's got a wagon on the back, but it's got like a cab on it, which for, farmers, you would have air conditioning, radio, heat, whatever you need. Literally they're not allowed, some of them, they're not allowed to have cabs. Mm-hmm. All the windows were smashed out. Literally smashed. There was glass, kind of like glass, like chunks hanging down and just wires hanging down of a brand new tractor, smashed out completely. Because I guess they're not allowed to have that in their, like, that's their beliefs. And I'm like, that's a brand new tractor. And they didn't even like unbolt the cab. They just smashed the windows out. I couldn't believe it. I still see that guy actually going down the road. He doesn't live too far from me.
Still smashed out.
Still smashed out. It's the weirdest thing in the world.
Just clean it up. Like just unbolt it.
Just take a cab. I don't know. Or just buy one without a cab. I don't know. I have no idea. I'd love to stop one day and ask him, but I don't want to offend him because that's what they believe in. And I respect that, but I just couldn't believe it. Brand new. I don't know. I wish I was there when he pulled it off the lot.
Imagine the look on the sales guy's face. Like,
yeah, we got to get rid of this.
What do you do? What are you doing?
Yeah. That's the craziest thing I've seen in Mennonite country here. It was,
Speaking of crazy things you have seen, I know that you run the business with the water trucks and doing hydrovac and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So have you ever seen any weird shit while hydrovacing a site?
Not really, no. The only thing that comes to my mind of anything weird that we've seen is maybe like if we're like street sweeping a parking lot and there's like people getting it on maybe in a car or something. And we have to like go around the car and like the headlights are just you don't have a choice. Like we're working here. But that would be probably the only, I had to go clean out a catch basin at a horse or a cattle farm one time.
Mm-hmm.
And it was full of horse crap or cattle crap. Sorry. And that was disgusting. That was like not good. But no, nothing overly out of the norm, I guess.
You never like just been cleaning out a hole and there's like a dead body or something?
No, nothing like that. No. That would be interesting.
Body or like a weird ancient civilization ruins or something. No.
Oh, because everything we do is very concentrated.
Mm-hmm.
But some of my customers who they'll do like earth moving and stuff like that for developments. They will have dug up and found like ancient burials and stuff. And at that point, everything gets shut down and the job is basically canceled. And they bring in archaeologists and stuff to preserve it and all that. It's pretty interesting.
It's interesting, but then think about like the developer just paying all this money.
Oh yeah, whatever. Those guys have enough money. I don't really care if they lose.
That's true.
Yeah.
I think about these guys throwing up condos like every which way in Montreal, and they're kind of like the bane of our existence right now. But yeah, they could stand to lose a couple million. You know.
Yeah, you're fine, guys. Relax. And we both know, like, they'll find that, and yeah, they'll shut it down for 6 months or a year, but we know that that's getting built no matter what.
100%.
Because they got enough money to make it happen, which is kind of fucked up.
We will respectfully desecrate this burial ground to another location and then continue our project.
You can build your overpriced cookie cutter homes.
We said we're sorry. Okay.
Yeah.
How did you get into hardcore?
Through high school, through a couple of my buddies in high school. We had a couple local bands in my high school, and they're kind of, hey, we're playing a show tonight. And then my buddy's like, hey, these guys are playing a show. You want to go check it out? But you're dating me here. That would have been probably 2005 or 2004. And then that was when I think it was LimeWire or Kazaa was out, one of the two. I can't remember which one. And, my buddies would just download this music, burn it to a CD and be like, go listen to this. It was more metal back then I was into, though, like Job for a Cowboy, Suffocate, Killswitch Engage. That's more like metalcore, but like Lamb of God. Like that stuff is kind of what got me into hardcore. I do have to shout out, whenever someone asks me this question, I shout out my cousin Josh, because he brought over Blink-182's Enema of the State. So that kind of got me into punk. And after that record, I went and bought Dude Ranch, which was more punk.
Yep.
this was all prior. This was when I was probably like 7 or 8 years old. And then he brought over Limp Bizkit's Significant Other. So that way, when I was introduced and when I got to high school and I was introduced to like the metal stuff, I was like, oh, this is even cooler type.
Yeah.
So yeah, I kind of spiraled from Blink-182, I would say, is kind of where it started. Dude, I love that they asked Turnstile and The Story So Far to open. Like, I think that's so cool, man.
Yeah.
But I mean, not that those bands aren't massive, but like I think it's wicked.
Enormous hardcore in their own right. But yeah.
I still think it's neat.
That's like I was talking about Dying Fetus taking hardcore bands on tour. I love Dying Fetus.
Yeah. Dude, it's awesome.
I feel like bands should do that more often. Acacia Strain has been really, I mean, Acacia Strain's not on the size of Blink-182 by any means. But like they've always been good at that too, where they'll just take a band like that they see doing reasonably well and they'll just take them on tour.
Yep. Oh, dude, love that band. So much respect for that band. And yeah, and I actually were elaborating on that too. Do you remember when Rise Against asked Title Fight to do a arena tour?
Yes. Oh my God. Yeah. Cause I was living in Birmingham at the time. It was with the Day to Remember. So it was Rise Against the Day to Remember and Title Fight. 2011.
Yeah, I think, it would have been.
Or 2012. It was one of those.
Back then. And all my like normie friends, I didn't get to go to the show, but a bunch of my normie friends were like, oh, we're going to see Rise Against. And I was like, make sure you watch Title Fight. And they're all like, man, they suck at singing. And I'm like, get out of here. You don't have it.
They're not fucking singing, boss.
Get out of here. Yeah, that was wild. And they apparently it was because Rise Against actually just really liked Title Fight.
Mm-hmm.
Like there wasn't any like agent stuff. It was like, yo, you guys are sick. Come on tour with us.
A lot of those like Rise Against, I know they have stayed plugged in. Like it's the same with Blink. Like I know Blink keeps up with what's going on. At least one of those members does. And like, you find those like Weezer. I think Weezer also has a pulse on like what's going on adjacent because they'll take Turnover.
Turnover, yeah.
So it's just a lot of respect to those guys that are kind of a bit more real maybe than.
Yeah, man. Good music is good music, right?
It's true.
And it's good. A lot of artists, I just get so big they don't care about the music anymore, right? They just want their money and it's their job, right?
We're having an early morning group chat session this morning with a band that will remain nameless, and we were talking about how Fall Out Boy is or isn't hardcore adjacent.
It is. 100%.
It is, but it isn't. It is in the sense of Andy Hurley is a real one, straight up.
Yeah.
I saw him play with Sect. Like while Fall Out Boy is doing arena tours, he's on a break playing 30 cap venues.
Oh, that's sick.
Which is crazy. But then you've got people like Patrick or Pete stealing lyrics from, who did he steal lyrics from? American Nightmare.
Yeah. Yeah. And like, I don't know, Patrick's son being on a couple Misery Signals records.
Yeah.
I think their new stuff isn't at all, but definitely like their older stuff.
Cork Tree.
Yeah, that I think it is. And they all, because I think they all used to play. I know Andy he was in Seven Angels, Seven Plagues, I think.
Yeah. And Pete and Andy had a band together before Fall Out Boy in like the late 90s. They were playing in a hardcore band. I do not remember what the name of it was. But it was like a similar, like Tom Morello, like De La Rocha situation.
Yeah.
With Inside Out. So yeah.
Who I was going to say Rage is also a hardcore adjacent band.
Oh, 100%. 100%. Well, until they start getting security to tackle somebody who's trying to stage dive in an arena. That's pretty whack.
Yeah. Well, I think that was maybe just a security guard getting horny. He find this is my opportunity.
He understood the assignment
too much. Yeah.
Did you start playing drums like as soon as you learn about hardcore? What were you playing before that?
No, I played drums. So I started guitar in grade 6 or 7. Absolutely terrible at it. Like just terrible. But I continued. I don't even think I could tune a guitar by like grade 8. It was just bad. And then in grade 9, I took music, and I wanted to play guitar, but they didn't have guitar. So I was like, oh, I'll play bass. And I actually picked up bass very easily. But my buddy Andrew played at the time, and my high school buddy and hockey buddy, he played drums. But every time the teacher would like leave or step out, or a class would finish early, I'd go jump on a kit. But let me try this. And like I picked up this beat out of nowhere. And it wasn't like simple, like do, like it wasn't like that. It was a little more intricate. Like, I need some drums. And my dad actually used to play drums when he was younger. So when I went home and was like, Mom, Dad, I want drums, he was like, all right, let's do it. So I got this like just terrible the CB kit, like everyone's first kit. And yeah, then I would just sit there and jam to Dude Ranch and Enema of the State and not be able to play it at all. Like not even close. And then, yeah, I was pretty much all self-taught until I probably started taking lessons in grade 12 or just after grade 12, just after graduating high school. But that didn't last very long because I didn't have the focus, I guess. Like it was just too boring for me. I just want to smash drums. Right. That was my favorite part. Mm-hmm. So yeah, no, that's, yeah. And then I obviously just, cause I learned bass in high school, I was able to kind of like, it would kind of come back to me. Can't read sheet music anymore though. That I struggle with. Like that I could in high school, but now there's no way in hell I could read sheet music again.
You don't think so? Like you don't think you could sit down and like pick it up?
I could probably, like I could sit there if I spent probably 2 hours, mm-hmm. I could probably pick it up. But I don't even guitar. Like when I was little, trying to play sheet music, I just went straight to tabs.
Yeah.
I'm like, these are so much easier.
It's like sheet music for dumb people.
Yeah, 100%. That's me. I am those dumb people.
I am the perceived demographic of these tabs.
100%. Yep.
What I never got was drum tabs. It was like, you just listen to the fucking song.
No, yeah, I don't do that either. I've never read music for drums. I wouldn't even know where to start.
I had to read in high school when I was in like jazz band. And I also, because I was in jazz band, I had to be in concert band, which is the most boring shit in the whole world. But like reading jazz charts was really cool because when you get like advanced enough, you know the feel of the track, but you don't get actual written out charts. What you get is the accents from the horn section, so that you're able to set up the smash, like the crashes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So so you have to like just be able to read where a horn is going to hit, so that you know where to lay a fill to lead up to like the accents.
Oh, that's pretty cool. See, I kind of have this regret of like, I wish I took drums serious when I was younger and stayed in lessons and because I would go watch any type of live band, and I would always watch the drummer. It could have been a cover band at a bar. Mm-hmm. There's a jazz bar in Toronto called the Rex, which is pretty famous. I've been there a couple times, and I'm like, man, I wish I could play drums like that. Right? Like, yeah. And I can't. Like these guys are their hand upside down and shit. Like I'm like, that is so. It's just so cool. My favorite drummer of all time is Levon Helm from the band.
Okay.
Like I watched him on the movie The Last Waltz, and I'm like, fuck man. Like he sings and plays drums, but he is just so good. And like, he's not doing the Travis Barker shit, going upside down, going fast. He's just literally playing so smooth, so tight. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I almost regret, like, man, I really wish I tried harder to take lessons, to study music, to study drums. and be able to like, maybe at the time you thought concert band and jazz band might have been boring, but now you're probably like, oh, that was pretty cool that you were able to learn stuff like that. Maybe not.
I mean, yeah, looking back, I'm happy that I have like a foundation. But at the time I was like a shitty teenager,
Yeah. That's fair.
But I do find that like I haven't read music in so long, but like Dylan from Rust told me that he writes out after they pre-prod and do their demos, he charts out the music before he starts trying to play it. So
really?
he'll sit down and chart out the entire song on drums.
That's wicked.
So that he's already in his head learning it while he's charting it.
Yeah.
And then he'll sit down at the kit and start trying to play it to the chart.
Dude, that's wicked. Does he write all his drums? Do you know all the drum parts?
I believe he does. I don't know if that was the same case because, Tommy was like a drummer as well.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's too sensitive or not to say right now, but
it's fine.
It's all official already. So who cares?
Yeah.
But like, I think Tommy in the beginning wrote a lot of the drums, if I'm not mistaken, which he was a killer drummer and falsifier. So falsifier. That's all I can think about when I say that name.
Yeah.
But yeah, Dylan was telling me that even when he writes a part, he charts it out.
Really?
He's a crazy man.
That's yeah. No, respect. He's a wicked drummer too, man. He is fucking awesome at drums. I love watching him play. I like that band too.
Yes. Rust is very sick.
Yeah. Friggin' Mike in another band. I'm going to make a point to not shout out Mike Parsram.
You just did.
Damn it.
You lost the game.
Lost the game. No, I love Mike.
So Mike came on the podcast a long time ago, like when the LP was coming out. And I met him about a year later when we were playing Hamilton for the first time.
Yeah.
And I like walked up, I'm like, yo, Mike, it's been a long time. Like, he was like, kind of looked at me weird. I was like, from the podcast. He's like, yeah, it's just, you look exactly like the vocalist for Bruiserweight. And I was like,
thanks, man. It's just a thanks.
I should have been like, I get that a lot.
Yeah.
Looking back, I could have played that really well. And then I'm like on stage. And I was like, yo, that's me. Like, we're the same person. And he was like, oh, sorry, all white people look the same.
Yeah, that's what Mike would say. But you know what? That's good that happens to him, because the amount of weird interactions that happens to him. So for him to give one, it's good. Maybe it humbles him, because he's had a lot of weird shit happen to him. I've seen it.
Oh no.
Oh yeah. I've told this story before, but in Omaha, Nebraska, he's told us he's literally just drinking a tea after our set, and out of nowhere, this girl and her boyfriend, they're like arms around each other. She looks back at him, takes her arm off her boyfriend, walks up, grabs his tea out of his hand, takes a drink, gives it back to him, goes back, puts her arm back around her boyfriend. And I watched the whole thing, and he's staring at his tea. He doesn't even know this person, doesn't even know her boyfriend, nobody. And he's like in utter disappointment, just staring at his tea. And he looks over at me like he was almost pale because he's like, what the fuck just happened?
And there was no explanation for it.
There was zero explanation for that. Zero. Like, this isn't someone we spoke to earlier in the night. This wasn't like someone wearing our merch. Nothing. This was just a straight up fucking stranger at a show that just took his fucking tea and drank it. We've both told the story a handful of times. It was the funniest thing ever, man.
And they're built different down there.
Yeah.
I should know.
Yeah.
I have a question, and this is so unrelated to what we've been talking about.
No problem.
At Hold Your Ground last year, you played in a Jaguars jersey.
Yes.
And right now, at this very moment, you're wearing a Jacksonville Jaguars hat.
Yes.
What is the relation?
I am a diehard Jaguars fan. There's about 6 Canadians that are diehard Jaguars fans. I am one of the OGs. And NFL Game Day. I think it was 2002, maybe, for PlayStation, not PlayStation 1, like PlayStation, the square one.
Yeah.
I was given, I don't know if I was given the game as a gift. I don't remember. I'm like, oh, what is this? I must have been grade 7 or 6 or something. And I started playing it, and I was like, oh, what team should I be? And the Jaguars were all black, like all black jerseys, helmets, everything. And they were ranked like 98. And I was like, oh, this team's wicked. So sure enough, I just picked that team and played with them. And then I started recognizing the names. And then I think it was 2004, they were in the playoffs. And for some strange reason, my dad never watched football, but he had this game on. And here was the Jaguars playing the Steelers, and they're all black jerseys. I'm like, oh, no way. Like, that's the team I play with. And then I got into high school, and some of my friends were starting to follow football. I started playing football in high school, and I just stuck with it. I just stuck with the Jags. And I'm still, to this day, a diehard Jaguar fan.
I am from Savannah. Savannah is 2 hours away from Jacksonville. By all means and purposes, everyone in Savannah should be a Jaguars fan because it's the closest team.
They're a Falcons fan.
Oh, yeah, for sure. 100%. Yeah. I'm a Falcons fan. So I've met one person in my entire existence as a human in the 24-ish years I lived in Savannah. One person have I met that is a Jaguars fan. And you were the second.
You must be a Trevor Lawrence fan then. Clemson.
I just don't like Clemson though.
Oh, get out of here. Can we hang up? Can we stop this? No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I'll tell you why though. It's because I grew up an Auburn fan.
Okay. That's fair. Yeah.
So, but then I when I was living and working in South Carolina, I couldn't say that I wasn't a Clemson fan. Like I had to like fake.
Yeah,
like,
that's fair.
Being like, oh, I'll go Clemson.
Yeah.
But I also, because I hate Alabama so much, I kind of ended up rooting for Clemson a few times.
Yeah. Okay.
You have to hate Alabama.
Yeah, I think they're basically a dynasty, but yeah, everybody hates them, right?
I hate why'd you have to use the D word?
It's a fact. I'm not an Alabama fan at all, but facts are facts, man.
Facts are facts. Nick Saban is a national hero.
He is a national hero. So Tom Brady. Everybody hates Tom Brady, but he's the GOAT.
He is the GOAT. And just to prove a point, he goes to Tampa Bay in his first year. Come on.
Dude, it's
undeniable facts.
I used to hate Tom Brady like everybody else. And then one guy said to me, he goes, one day when you have kids and they have kids, your grandkids are going to say, Grandpa, what was it like to watch Tom Brady? And I'm like, holy shit, you're right. Because we will never see that ever again. Never, ever, ever. I don't think so. Maybe with Mahomes, and I just, at that point, I was like, man, I got to embrace this. Like I have an opportunity to witness his history and I got to embrace it. So now I've no hate at all. No hate on anyone that succeeds in sports.
Well, now, I mean, yeah, that's true though. You should rally. Right?
You're witnessing it. You get to watch it, man. Like what? I don't know. Yeah, it's frustrating because your team doesn't win, but at least you get to say you saw it.
Yeah. It's like, same could be said for the Astros. You want to win so bad, you got to cheat.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which I say that lovingly because the Astros are my team. So, well, yeah, out of marital bias. So, yeah, now that we've lost and, alienated half of the audience, yeah, when I saw your hat, I was like, oh yeah, this dude is a Jaguars fan. I've met 2 Jaguars fans in my entire life. I got to figure this shit out. This is weird.
Yeah. No. So am I number 2 or am I number 3 then?
Oh no, you're number 2. Number 1 is what's his name? He had like a crazy ass name in high school. Anyway, he was on Drumline with me.
Okay.
And he would always rep the Jaguars, and I was like, dude, why do you like this team so much? And he's like, because they have a killer drum line.
So I moved to this little town a year and a half ago. I started playing pickup hockey, meet some of the guys playing pickup hockey, and they invite me over to for like a poker night. So this guy, Mitch, that we play hockey with, we're there chatting, whatever. And I have my Jags hat on, and he's like, "Why are you wearing that hat?" I'm like, so the population of this town is like 2,500, like maybe it's small. And I'm like, "Oh, I'm a diehard fan." He's like, "Oh yeah, I like the Jags." I'm like, "Yeah, I know most people, no one really hates them." He's like, "Oh no, I like them." I'm like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "Well, they're my team." And I literally, he like the way he said it, I'm like, this guy's legit making fun of me. Because first of all, nobody in Canada likes the Jaguars except for me and like four other guys. And he's like, "No, dude, actually." And he starts talking to me about his jersey collection and the games he's been to. And I'm like, wait a minute, this little town of 2,500 people, Drayton, Ontario, there's another fucking Jaguars fan. And he's like, "Yeah." And yeah, we're still buddies and he's still a fan. And we're we're hopefully going to go to the Monday Nighter this year in Buffalo.
So you got to go to Buffalo to see games.
Oh, buddy, I've been to Pittsburgh. I've been to Jacksonville. I've been to Buffalo. Yeah, I feel like there's one more in there that I went to watch the Jaguars play. But yeah, I've been to Jacksonville a bunch of times.
What do you think about Jacksonville?
It's okay. Jack's Beach is nice. The beaches are nice. Nice little spot.
Everyone says.
The city, it's just a city. Cities don't do anything for me.
No.
My wife's always like, "Let's go to New York City." I'm like, "Let's not." Like I don't do
worst
cities.
One.
Yeah. And I actually have all my years of touring, all the cities I've seen, Toronto, hands down, is probably my favorite. It's nice. I don't know. Like a lot of these big cities in the US, well, you live there, they're dumpy, man.
Yeah.
They are dumpy. And it is like, and it's not anyone's fault. It's just infrastructure, right? Poor infrastructure. Whereas Toronto, like, it's clean for the most part. People are friendly, and I mean, it's all you can really ask for from a massive city.
It's true. I'd like it. Atlanta's got like a bit of a charm to it for me.
Yeah.
But it all depends on what area you're in.
Yeah. See, I feel like Toronto doesn't really have that. I mean, it does. You can, if you're looking for trouble, you can find it. But I feel like for the most part, again, there is dangerous areas, and it all depends who you are, right? It's not as dangerous, I don't think, as some of these major cities in the US.
That's true. I mean, there's even like small cities that are dangerous in the US. So
yeah, exactly.
Father Figure. Progress is not, it came out last year, right? Progress is not linear.
No, I think 2021 or 2022.
But did you tell me you were releasing something like at Last Hold Your God, I thought?
Yeah. So Father Figure started as it was a COVID project. Mm-hmm. So like we never really got together to practice. Jeff writes all the music, just like he did for Cold Shoulder. And then me and Sean kind of work on the vocals together. So it was always just like when we have time type thing. And it's kind of still that. Mm-hmm. We actually are going to finish, what's the date today? Today is
16th.
August the 16th. So tomorrow morning, we're going to finish up the vocals. So it'll be done depending when you put this out. Actually, there might even be a single. We're trying to put a single out before Hold Your Ground.
Nice.
And yeah, so we're just doing another EP, another 4-song EP. It's all just, I think we did the drums back in April. Like Jeff did all the guitars and bass himself. We did the first set of vocals like a month. We just kind of like when we have time type thing, right? We're all very busy, other bands, kids, wives, lives, jobs, everything. So it's kind of just like when we get the opportunity, right? And there's no pressure, which we kind of like. It's like, hey, do we want to do this? Oh, I can't, I'm going camping or whatever. Oh, no problem. All good. Whereas like previous bands, it's like, oh, fuck, we got to do this. Should we get a fill in? Should we do that? Oh, we're recording, so you can't book anything else that week.
Yeah.
So it's a nice little change, but it definitely we get a little antsy. Like I'm getting a little antsy. I want to put this stuff out because I like it. So
it's the curse though. It's like you just want a little fun project to play with your friends, and then you're like, oh, these songs actually rip.
Yeah.
I want to put this shit out and start doing shit with it, and then you get the bug.
Yep. And we play a couple shows a year, and every time we play a show, people like the response is always really good, and people really like it. And then I'm like, fuck, like we should play more shows. And then we're like, oh, I'm busy. We're all kind of on our own schedules, so it's like,
we should jam weekly.
Yeah, oh, that would be cool. That'd be really cool, but it's okay. No problems. Like I'm, and that was kind of one of the reasons why Cold Shoulder stopped touring is like I got kids now, and I was limited with time with my business and stuff, right? Obviously COVID and stuff like that. So
yeah,
so it's all good. We're all good friends. We all love each other. We want each other to succeed outside of music, prior to music, right? So it's a little more.
You're just stunting the drummer market in Toronto though.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think I play drums for I guess technically on paper she's my niece, but I call her my wife's niece because when I first met her, she was like, I guess 18 or 17. And I'm like, I don't even, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like a niece and nephew are little.
Yeah.
Her name's Jessie Vickery. She's like an indie pop rock. She's really good singer songwriter. We do some live shows. So I play drums for her. That's where I get my drum kick out of. That we try to do like a show a month or whatever around the tropic. Yeah, no, I'm definitely missing rocking out on the drums. Wouldn't mind filling in for a show or two if someone needs it.
You don't play guitar, dude? No, I'm just kidding.
No, God, no. I can try. You're not gonna like it.
Yeah, I mean, what you're saying about like stopping touring, like if you want to tour as like a Canadian band, you have to play the States. Like you have to tour in the States, and that costs money, and your name has to be on a piece of paper that says that you're legally allowed to cross. And if you don't have the time to commit and the band has to find a fill in constantly or something, then yeah, it's probably just, easier to be like, let's just do a reunion show every now and then. You could just become No Warning.
Oh, I know. Play like two or four shows a year.
Yeah, charge $20,000 a show and fucking play 3 times a year. Get your kick that way.
Yep. Yeah. Or what Alexis on Fire was doing for the longest time. They did their final tour, and then now they just do reunion shows. Now I guess they opened for Blink last night, but yeah, you know what I mean.
Have Heart's doing reunion shows, and apparently they're grossing about $100,000 each.
Oh, fuck. That's crazy.
People say you can't make money in hardcore. Prove it.
You can. You just gotta do it smart, and I don't know. I think about like the struggle, or I guess the struggle you got to do to get there, man. Like all those bands that are like a band like Have Heart, they endlessly toured and they went through hell and back. And now they're at their ages where they're like, fuck it. Like we ain't doing that anymore. Like I know Pat still tours, right? A bit, but like, and they don't need to. And I respect it. And no, I'm not saying that Cold Shoulder ever got anywhere near that. But I'm even at the point now where it's like, if I got asked to ever go on tour, I'm not sleeping in a fucking van. No, I'm not doing it. I'm sorry. I lost enough money doing that. If I'm going to lose money, I'm getting a fucking hotel room.
Yeah.
Like straight up.
That's another $50.
Yeah, honestly, like I'm already losing. Like I might as well just fucking lose a little more and get a hotel room and be comfortable. I know I sound old and miserable, but that's the way she goes.
I'm there with you. I can only sleep on so many different surfaces before I'm ready to like become feral. Yeah.
Or you're like, oh, this person said they can put us up, and you go to their house and it's like a band house and everybody's up partying. And I'm like, yeah, no thanks. And you go to use their shower and it's disgusting.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm like, we're saving how much money to stay here? Like, can we just all split and go get a hotel room?
Like if we each pitch in $20, we could, everybody can shower and everybody has a nice comfy surface.
Exactly.
Let's go ahead and get on hotwire.com.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's where I'm at.
It's crazy. We opened for Hold Your Own, or not Hold My Own. I'm putting Hold My Own and Hold Your Ground together. And like they were packing up and we were just chatting with them before they left. They're in like in Chevy Equinox.
Oh yeah.
It's the SUV.
Yeah. Fuel efficient.
On shit's playing guitar. He's got a quad Cortex with the power amp, like the Rick Ballou special.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, that's the way to do it.
Yep. I respect it, man. Even when Cold Shoulder, like the last few tours Cold Shoulder did, we were like, we will bring drums and a bass cab, because Ryan's bass cab was I think it was a 610 or a 412, but it was like the size of an 810, but it was super light. It was a trainer.
Right.
So we're like, and then we're like, you guys supply cabs so that when we were in that bus, it was like empty. Like we had all this extra space. All we had was my drums and like the bass cab that we could like easily keep out of the way. Right. And it's like the lighter, the better, man. Yeah.
Yeah. Just, I like traveling with just heads and breakables. It's like, we don't have anything. We're going to need all of it.
Yep. It's the way to do it, man.
So we got Hold Your Ground 2024 in like 2 weeks. A little under a month.
Stresses me out.
Are you prepared?
It's a loaded question.
I just had Brandon's episode will be coming out Thursday from Pure Bliss.
Yep.
That was round 2, which is sick. And they're very pumped for the pre-show.
Yeah.
What's the set you're most anticipating? Like what's you're super stoked about? Who? Insert band.
Probably Mouth for War. On a friend level and music level. I love that band. We got a tour with them on one of their first runs they did. Became really good, really close with those guys. Cell as well, I'm really excited for. Toured with Skylar's old band, like their singer. And maybe Free for All, also from Oklahoma. And then probably Big Ash Truck. Yeah, the band's fucking wicked. I would say that somewhere around. Yeah, I would say those ones probably off the come off the top of my head, like bands I haven't seen yet or haven't seen in a while. And yeah, it's gonna be a good homie fest for sure. A lot of good friends on this fest this year.
Yeah, it's like looking at the lineup. It's nice that we're on the Montreal day. I love that.
Yeah,
it's like there's a Montreal day and then there's kind of like a Toronto day.
Yeah,
and then you have like the people from out of town kind of filling the rest out.
Yep.
Little upset we're not playing Big Ass Truck Day, but that's okay.
Just your question or your how do I say this? Your concern has been noted. One of our team members will contact you in the next 48 hours.
It's fine. It's fine. We get to play with Spite House and Scorching Tomb, so that's all good.
I'm fired up for Spite House too. That band's awesome, man.
I punished Max the other day because I was playing the LP at work. Like I just had it playing during the cafe while I was working.
Yeah.
And I just messaged him like, yo, I listen to this LP more than most other bands' music.
Yeah.
Like, it's just good.
Yeah.
So I love that. They're from Montreal and we jam on the same night. So I'll go over and pound on their door and then like run down the hallway.
That's awesome.
It's pretty fun.
Yeah, band's awesome.
Very, very good. And y'all, Father Figure's playing.
Yep. They asked like Kyle and Katie asked like, hey, do you want to play this year? And I was like, well, if there's room again, like, I don't know, we just have fun with that. Right. And they're like, yeah, sure. Of course. And it's a little selfish, but like, fuck it. I put the fest on if I want my fucking band.
I think you get the right to do it.
Yeah, I don't care. Like, I don't know. We play like 4 shows a year, if that. So like, let's play one here.
Cohesion's not even playing this year, or are they playing?
No, they're not playing this year. No, I think they're going through a member change or two, and maybe writing some stuff, and yeah, Kyle's working, planning a wedding and stuff. So they've kind of slowed down a bit. Yeah, so no, they're not playing. Yeah, so really just my band is the only one. Call me selfish. Don't care.
Any surprises that we should be ready for?
We talked about doing a cover, but I don't think we'll have time to learn it. I'm assuming you can only imagine what band we're going to cover. Yeah, maybe not, probably not. Just some new songs. I think we're doing like 2 or 3 new songs. But no, we only play for like 12 minutes or 13
nice.
minutes. Yeah. So
it's like a hardcore set.
Yeah, that's kind of what this band was built off of, was like we're all in hardcore bands, but we all like this music. So let's do it.
Like, if I'm ever in a band that wants to play for more than 15 minutes,
no.
Red flag.
So when I host 10 for 10, that's like the rule. And I started a group chat with all the bands, and I keep it reiterating. You get 15 minutes, and if you fucking dare go over, I will cut your goddamn fucking power cord. I don't say that like that, but I mean it. Like,
yeah.
Just because, even last year at Hold Your Ground, we had a couple bands that went over the time slot, and you screw it up for everybody else. Like, I get you want to play your songs and you want your message to come across, whatever you want to do, but it's like, there's other bands on this, man. There's other people that want to share their message or their music. So like, short and sweet. Mm-hmm. That's it.
Yeah.
15 minutes tops.
It's like a TED Talk. If you can't say what you need to say in 12 minutes or less, it's not worth saying.
It's not worth saying.
I don't want to be an asshole, but just find a better way to say it.
100%. I agree. I couldn't agree more. Yeah.
As for the fest, are we getting what vendors? What's the food situation like? Is it going to be empanadas? What are we doing?
I think Andy's coming back to do the empanadas. Kyle was talking to him. We have a company. Oh God, I forget the name off the top of my head. That is going to do some catering, some food. Let me see if I can pull up my vendor list quickly here. Just bear with me. Ooh. We have quite a few this year, which is awesome. More than we've ever had. Oh God, I should have been more prepared. The Wormwood Records is coming back.
Okay.
Shout out them. They've been a supporter since literally day one of everything in Ontario. Yeah. Josh is the absolute man. Emissions Record Shop's coming back. Again, another repeat. High Watt Amps is supplying the back line. Shout out Dan from High Watt Amps for hooking that up. We have Lovesick Creative that's setting up. I'm gonna start stalling here, and it's gonna get awkward. We're gonna make a post in the next week here with every vendor and kind of to showcase that. Mm-hmm. But I asked the attendees, check this stuff out when they're there, man. Like, people put a lot of work into this stuff, right? This is their art. This is their projects, right? This is their business, or whatever, support it. It's wicked. These are all good people doing good things, right?
Yeah. So we will have cold brew.
Yes. Oh, obviously Beans and Breakdown is going to be there again.
Nice. Yeah, I'm excited. I have new merch too. It's going to be dope. Not to take merch sales from any bands, but I'm bringing like 5 pieces of merch. And you get it. And if you don't get it. So.
Okay. Hell yeah. Well, we're super excited to have you back, obviously. Which I've told you many times, but now this is for the public to hear.
It's on record now. It will be in the void.
It's on record.
Yes. Yeah, very excited. Very happy to be playing and yeah, being there. Last year was a lot of fun. Long days, but like fun long days.
Yeah, this year we condensed it a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
and kind of sort of like last year was like you said, long days, lots of bands, big bands, and this year we're like, all right, let's kind of regroup because once people start consistently trying to outdo themselves every year, things can get kind of like messy.
Yeah.
So we agreed basically at the end of last year, like, hey, when we do next year, let's sort of do it a little different laid out. We're going to do the Saturday, Sunday, right? We're not going to do the post show. We're just going to do the
Yeah.
and we're pretty happy how it's come together.
Should be great. I'm very excited to see Fuming Mouth in that context because last time I saw them was at MTELUS with like Cannibal Corpse or Black Dahlia Murder. So seeing them play like a hardcore fest.
Oh, exciting. Yeah. Oh, it's awesome.
Well, Adam, I'm very excited for Hold Your Ground. Yeah, it's going to be great. We got a Airbnb. We're all going to chill together.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be so much fun. Maybe karaoke. I don't know.
Don't tell me with a good time.
I don't know if Daddy Adam can venture out for the karaoke.
Oh, I got that weekend booked off. Don't worry. I already gave my mom a heads up.
Nice.
The kids are coming over.
What's the karaoke track though?
I got a few.
Okay.
So, prior to COVID, because of like COVID changed my karaoke sort of like style, changed a lot about me, right? My karaoke life. Prior to COVID, Shania Twain, Man, I Feel Like a Woman was the go-to. I would tell them to shut the monitor off. I don't need the lyrics, right? But now, I know what I would do. Oh, come on. I'd do some Bruce Springsteen.
Oh, yeah.
Hands down. Either I'm on Fire, probably, or Born to Run. Probably Born to Run.
Good track.
I'm a big Bruce Springsteen fan. Probably get canceled for that too.
Why? That's so good.
I don't know.
He's
Dude, 70s, 80s, 90s is all I listen to now.
Yeah.
Oh, and the new Speed record. That's it. That's all I listen to.
just that and the Speed record.
That's it. And the Speed record, yeah.
Mine's kind of the same. I just listen to that and like Trapped Under Ice, Big Kiss Goodnight.
Yeah, that's it.
Same record. I'm just kidding. That's not true.
Are you big into like 70s and 80s and stuff like that?
I'm more into like 90s, but like I do have my moments, especially like 80s pop and like
you ever heard the Spoons?
No.
They're from Montreal. They're wicked.
The Spoons?
The Spoons, yeah. The song Old Emotions. Whew, it's a banger.
I do listen to Blue Rodeo.
Oh, hell yeah. Are you a Hip fan?
No.
Oh,
I can't get past the voice. I'm sorry.
Oh, dude, they're one. If you see the little like about Hold Your Ground, I had to include Tragically Hip. I'm a big Tragically Hip fan.
It tracks.
It's so good, man. Come on.
I can't deny their influence on Canadian music.
Shout out Gord Downey. He got diagnosed with brain cancer. He spent literally the last year of his life doing a tour and basically speaking up about all the crimes against Indigenous people and starting the Downey Winjack Foundation and the Day of Truth and Reconciliation. Like he literally dude, it's so, that man he should be in the Canada Hall of Fame if that's even a thing. He should be on the new bill, the $20 bill, that man.
Instead of the Queen.
Yeah, instead of the Queen. She doesn't do much.
No. Well, she's definitely not doing much now.
No. Oh, geez. Yeah, shout out Tragically Hip, shout out the Spoons, and shout out Speed.
We just cast a broad net. Well, Adam, we have reached the conclusion, the final question of our time together.
Yep.
What is your favorite city for beans and breakdowns?
Ooh. Like for both as one?
You can split it if you want.
Oh, man. Well, I mean, the coffee I had in Italy, does that count? Is that even fair?
Yeah, I'll allow it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like what specific? Give me like a specific joint.
I couldn't remember the name of it.
They're all named like something Italia or like Cafe Sponda or something like that.
So it was when we got in line to go to the Coliseum. We got up super early, got in line, and I was like, I'm going to get coffees. And I went to this little tiny, like probably every coffee shop there is in Rome. And I got, oh, my dogs are fighting. I got this Americano. Hey. And it was delicious. And this fresh croissant, it was outstanding. I know, typical. I couldn't tell you the name of it. I don't know, but it was amazing. Guys, stop fighting. Sorry. And then breakdowns. Whew, that's a tough one. I mean, like I said, the speed record. So, Sydney, Australia, but I think California is just top tier. Anywhere, obviously the Bay Area has a lot of amazing bands. And then I can't help but shout out Ontario. Fuck, we have some good bands, man. I like that new Bad Bat record is fucking sick.
Yes, it is.
Shout out that band. The new Built on Blood is amazing.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know. I should have been more prepared for this question. I'm sorry, but that's where I'm going with it. That's it. That's the answer.
I was expecting Toronto, but that's, you threw
for breakdowns
for both, but
I don't know.
You threw me a curve.
Those two bands I labeled are Hamilton, so they don't really count.
That's true, actually. They are Hamilton.
And as for, I don't really go to coffee shops in Toronto. Usually by the time I get to Toronto, I need a beer, so I go to. I'm so worked up for the drive in that I'm like, I just need a pint. No, I would say I'm just trying to think of bands, that I've been listening to or consistently listen to and where they're from. That's kind of where
makes sense.
That's what I could have said Kingston because that's where the hip's from.
Also, Trauma Models from Kingston. Shout out Mitch.
Oh yeah.
Man. I mean, he can cook one hell of a burger.
Yeah?
Yeah, he's cool. Well, Adam, again, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you.
To see you in Toronto soon, Mississauga. Toronto first. Toronto.
And like I said, man, actually from all of us, we're very, very happy to have you back, man. You've done a lot for this fest over the years. So we can't thank you enough, man. Appreciate the hell of you.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Stoked to be a part of it. We'll see each other real soon.
Sounds good, my man.
Cheers. Thanks so much for listening to this episode of Beans and Breakdowns. I want to say a huge thanks to Adam for hanging out on the podcast. Be sure to check the links in the description to check out Father Figure, his band, as well as Cold Shoulder. I'll put the links there as well. And you can find ticket links to Hold Your Ground Fest. There are still tickets available, so pick yours up now. If you've enjoyed the podcast, please subscribe and leave a review. You can find out more information about the podcast by following us on Instagram at Beans and Breakdowns or on the web at beansandbreakdowns.com. Until next week, be sure to stay caffeinated and wake the fuck up.